Hey Zinky. Huh, that's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to check a few things before, Um, hmm, oh yeah, sure. Oh damn, I should have probably done everything with the stream before, checked the settings before I started the stream. I already went live. Oops. Zenki, where are you? Okay. Sent you one. Um, uh, yeah. How am I gonna do this? Guess I have no choice. Gotcha. Yes, that's because I unmuted myself. Huh.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones, you won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, go fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away. But I'm here to stay, no, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, but fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Contest to Speed. We are here for the AM2 Championship, and we're in Mexico, and it looks like it's pouring down. And I'm Red Devil, and along with me is Zenki. Hey, Zenki, how you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah, it would appear to be full wet conditions here in qualifying.
Certainly
Should be
looks
pretty
interesting.
interesting.
I know, it's pouring down here. Look at the puddles on the track. Oh my God, the pit lane looks so wet. Imagine driving it over a lap here in quali. That's gonna be painful. Yeah, I forgot to put in the constructors and drivers standing, so I'm just going to go off and just read through it. Apologies for that. It got a little bit busy at work today, but after last race, it was Orlando who took the victory with Spanini in P2, and Pablo, after penalties, took P3. As for the driver standings, Electric Blade is now leading the championship by 26 points to Orlando. Stubley is P3 with Mad Duo in P4. But unfortunately, both Aston Martins will now be reserve drivers, so I'm not sure if they can defend their title or have a say in the title for that matter. Spunini has climbed his way up into P5, and Has driver of Mail Carton is in P6. And as for the constructor standings, Aston Martin are leading with 220 points. Red Bull are closely following them with just 9 points behind them with 211. 211. McLaren are third with 177 points, with AlphaTauri in one, and Haas locked in at 146. So with that said, yeah, it looks like some of the cars are heading out on track as Mel Carton has left the session. So Zenki, if you could please invite.
Already.
Yep, sounds good, my friend. Let's see here. Let's get some data in. Uh, Hopefully we can get the track map and some lap
I,
data going. And
I know speaking from experience, we had dry qualifying last night in AM3, but a wet race did dry up the last 10 laps or so, but definitely affected the setups.
yeah, this definitely looks like it's going to be full wet, but maybe turn into intermediate conditions or something like that. I don't see this turning into like a completely dry session by the end of it. as we have Clive. I think he's going to be the first person to start a flying lap, so let's go on board with him. He is reserving in the Aston Martin. Looks like he's coming back into the pits.
Interesting.
Let's see, who do we got? We have a Haas of Pablo. So, not gonna say anything about him because he did ask me to not mention anything. So I'm just gonna go through the lap with him as he's the first driver to start a flying lap.
Well, he didn't say anything about me. Pablo put in a strong showing last night for AM3. He's looking to have another strong showing as a reserve here in AM2 as he's coming down the front straight. Sadly, no DRS open as we are in full wet conditions.
These two turns must be a pain to take, especially in the wets, you know. Getting the traction out of this corner, I think turn 4 is going to be so important and crucial for the lap.
I went into the race last night with a higher wing setup, so I personally didn't think it was too bad, wet or dry, but I know some of the other people around me were definitely having a bit of a hard time keeping their traction.
You guys did have mixed conditions in the race as well, right? In AM3. So, yeah, I think
Yeah, we had a cloudy qualifying and then full wet to start race that slowly dried up.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the race for AM2. But as Pablo crosses the second sector, 107.2, let's see how he does going into, I think, the most difficult part of uh, the track, the stadium section, and it's doubly difficult in the wets coming out of the final corner. Gets a good exit, not too bad. Hugs the inside, crosses the line with a 131.1 provisional pole. As let's see who
Oh,
is.
I was going to say Kane looked to be on a pretty good lap behind him. Did have a purple sector too. Stadium section must have just cost him a few tenths. I guess 5 tenths to Pablo.
Let's see who else is on a flyer. F7RJs. See Fire Gap. Okay, Fire Gap looks like he's gonna cross the line with a 131.8. Takes him P3. As MVD
Oh,
Chewy has lost it.
yeah, I see a McLaren in the wall.
Oh, look at that. Unfortunate.
Tragic.
As we just caught a glimpse of the car. Let's see who's about to cross the line here. Deathstorm here, coming across with a 131 Ford, puts him up into P2. Orlando is about to cross the line. He goes into P2 with a 131 2. So it looks like Pablo's put in a fantastic lap so far. Let's see. Chipman, oh, he just moved into P8 with a 32.0. Next to cross the line, let's see. I think it's a Ferrari of SR Frame. He's about to start a lap, so let's see if. Oh, Electric Blade is about to cross the line. He goes P8 with a 131.7. Looks pretty close in the midfield. The top two are kind of, half a second faster, but from Deathstorm down to like Fire Gap, it looks pretty close. Spunini is next across the line. He had a 106 something. I remember Pablo had a 107 too. So let's see if he can beat him. He got pretty loose coming out of the final corner, but he puts it in provisional pole with a 136. See who is next. I think
Trying to.
I think it's F7RJ who's about to cross the line. I'm not sure. Warren decides to go into the pits, so he will not be completing the lap. Let's see here. I think SR Frame was about to finish his lap, so let's go on board with the AM3 driver as Orlando goes pole with a 136, just 300s faster than Spinini. SR Frame coming out of the final corner. Crosses the line. 131.4 takes him up to P6. See who's next. Zenki, you still with me?
Yeah, Male Cardin and I are having some trouble getting him back into the game.
Oh.
Sent
Uh,
him.
do you,
Ah, I had to send him an Xbox One. That seemed to have worked.
okay, cool, cool. As I think next up is Fragley, unless somebody's doing a double push lap. Let's go on board with the Alpine driver. Going across turns 1, 2, and 3. Gets a good exit going into the first sector split time. It's a 130, sorry, 32.3. Going through the second sector. Very tricky to get power down in these two corners right here.
Interesting note. I did, a little insider info in the chat. I think someone said it might be a dry race. So, it is going to be interesting. I know some of our, quote unquote, maybe some of our faster drivers, maybe not all the way up there in qualifying as they're just, they want to keep that dry setup. They're just going to accept their fate here in qualifying.
Yeah, for sure. I think I did the same thing last week in Silverstone. I was like, I'm just gonna put in a dry setup and compromise my quali. Well, didn't work out at the end, but you try. As Fragley is about to cross the line with a 133.2, puts him to in P16. Not a terrific lap. Let's see who's next. Looks like an AlphaTauri. Is it gonna be JD? No. The other AlphaTauri is Big Mama Frank. He is 7 tenths up, coming in, crossing the line with a 136.04. Goes provisional pole by 600ths of a second. Spunini about to cross line. He's 4 tenths up. He does a 130.0, 6 tenths faster than Big Mama Frank. That is a phenomenal lap from the Alpha.
Absolute steamer from Spanini.
F7RJ's cross the line. Not a very impressive time from him. Let's see here. Warren is on an out lap. Deathstorm is about to cross the line. Not a very impressive time from him either. Let's go on board with the Ferrari of K. He's crossing the line with the 138, puts him up to P4. Looks like the track is, slightly getting better as, these drivers are going through, putting in laps. I think they're taking the spray off of the track. So I think definitely looks like it's getting better and better. I wouldn't be surprised to see pole times in the 129s.
7.5 minutes left. Do you think we see inters?
Possibly, because I don't see any puddles anymore, though. Would be an interesting choice. Let's see here. If anybody has, yeah, looks like JDTV and Electric Blade have come out on intermediate tires. So let's actually go on board with them to see where they are. They're in the middle sector. So we'll keep an eye on them because it's definitely looking like interweather at the moment. Pablo is not putting in any representative times. Mel Carton, who I think just joined the lobby, is starting his lap on intermediate tires. So he'll be the first one to, kind of give a feedback to the field to say, okay, if it's inters or complete wet weather tires at the moment. So let's see, go on board. I think he got a pretty good exit coming out of turn 3.
Ooh, did the Aston Martin of Clive just get impeded by a Ferrari a little bit there?
Does look like his lap is invalidated, so
He
unfortunate.
had to avoid the Ferrari of, I believe that is SR frame.
We'll take a look at that, but let's go on board again with Mail. We've seen times in the 106 in the second sector split. So will be interesting to see what Mail he puts in a 105.9. So this looks like a really good lap time and definitely looks like interweathers at the moment as he's going through the stadium section. Ferrari moves out of the way, coming through the final set of corners, takes a lot of the curb there, gets a good exit out of the final corner, crosses the line with a 129.2, 8 tenths faster, goes provisional pole.
And his teammate Pablo did improve on the wets up to P5, but
More,
nowhere near an improvement compared to the inters of his teammate. I think we're
more.
going to see a lot of guys possibly bailing on their laps to dive into the pits if they aren't on the inters already.
JD was a tenth up on his time, but he has invalidated. So I think the other driver was Electric Blade, who was on. He's a second up on his time, 1.1 seconds up. Clive has retired from the session. Oh, looks like he lost it coming through the SS in sector 2.
As an Aston Martin driver, that is not what I want to see.
Electric Blade about to
Blade is on
cross
a steamer. It's going to
29.
be P2. Cut you off there, my bad.
That's okay.
You're on the same page.
Yeah, that's all that matters. As we go look at Pablo, he's a second down on his time. I think he'll be looking to go into the pits and get a set of the intermediate tires. Mail is going into the pits as well.
Spanini starting. He's on the inters now. Big Mama Frank also throwing the inters on. I'm watching everyone in the pits switching to the inters right now.
Looks like the first person to cross the line would be Big Mama Frank, so let's go on board with him. He has about a second and a half to make up if he wants pole position.
He's been putting in some good races as of late. You know, I think he's got a chance to close that gap. See him in the front row.
Yeah, definitely. He's come back to racing in contest to speed, and he's put in some good performances. He, I think, won the race in Coda, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, he's been doing well. So he's definitely one of the front runners for pole position, along with I want to say Spanini, Electric Blade, Orlando. I think these are your typical front runners. Don't be surprised to see someone like I'm not gonna mention his name because he's gonna diss me again on the chat. So you may as well.
Pablo.
Yeah, as we see Big Mama Frank going into sector 2. Let's see his time, 106.4. Not as impressive as Mail and Electric Blade, I want to say. They had a 105. I'm guessing he has a little bit less downforce or something like that, and he's concentrating more on the race. But it could well come down to skills. So I'm not complaining, but yeah, he goes up to P2 with a 129.5. Not a bad lap. Had a
Oh, that is tragic. I was on board with our fourth place sitter at the moment provisionally. He
yeah.
was up purple sector 1 but hasn't validated. Behind him will be the Aston Martin of Chipman. Don't know how his lap is going,
He's
but
1.4 seconds up on his time. So he's looking in the
and he's
29s maybe.
invalidated. That is
Oh.
tragic.
That is unfortunate. Let's see here. Where is the Mercedes? Probably next. Oh no, he looks like he's on an out lap. Let's see who's on
I
Death
believe
Storm.
Deathstorm is our
Yeah.
front runner at the moment
Look.
of hot laps.
Yeah, going on board with him. He is 3 tenths up through the first sector, coming through the S's. Uh, Going through the DRS straight. Obviously, you can't open it because of wet conditions at the moment. He is 1.4 seconds up. He's looking at a provisional front row at the moment. If he has a good final sector, he might be looking at pole even. Let's
You know,
see.
he has said he's Mr. Wet Race. He loves the wet conditions. Are we going to see him stick it in the front row? Possibly pole?
Just
P2.
misses out by a tenth, but still a very good lap. I think he has some. I think if he carries on, he can do another lap. So for sure, Warren is on a outlap as Dude goes 128.3. He's a full second up. The AM3 driver is provisional pole. Orlando goes
P2.
P2, but he's 6 tenths behind. So
JDTV into P3 on 4-lap-old intermediates. Interesting.
let's
Just
see.
watching as we have so many cars coming across. There was a train of hot laps.
Electric Blade goes. Oh, he's starting a hot lap. So let's go on board with Spanini. Can he improve? No. He just about crosses the line, so he will be the last driver. So let's go on board with. Is it the Haas on the front? So he is. Mail is 6 tenths up on his time. He's about to cross. He's going through the final corner, about to cross the line. Can he go provisional pole? He goes provisional pole with a 127.8.
Coming in next is going to be SR Frame, the first of the two Ferraris. Where can he put it? P2. Jump to the next Ferrari, who is a second and a half up on his time. P4. We have so many about to cross the line.
Oh, fire gap!
P1.
Oh my God, it's so hard. Who is
I think
next?
there's gonna be a Williams. No, or I think it's an Alpine about to cross.
Alpine?
Fragley?
No, it's not
No.
Fragley. It's Ben Dude. I think he goes into the pits. I think Orlando is coming in next. Can he take pole position? No, it's only P4. SR. Sorry, who is it? Pablo goes.
Pablo and Mail.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God,
goodness,
so
there's
many.
so many.
Let's go on board.
Fragley about to come across the line. Goes P11. Next will be Kane P9.
Let's go
We
on
have an
board with.
AlphaTauri.
Let's go on board with Electric Blade. Can he go on top? No, he's only P8. Spanini, who's down in P15, can he improve? Last car to cross line. He takes pole position. 127.3. What a fantastic lap from the Alfa Romeo driver. He gets pole position here for the Grand Prix of Mexico. That was a fantastic lap. Last driver to cross the line has the. I think he had the best, track conditions, and that's how you take pole position. Be the last man to cross the line, and he was that.
That was something. I
Yeah, that was a fantastic finish to qualifying. That's for sure. As we go through the qualifying order, Spanini takes pole position with a 127.3. Fire Gap P2 with a 127.6. Mail P3 127.8. Pablo also with a 127.8 P4. Big Mama Frank P5. Frame P6. Orlando P7. JD P8. Electric Blade in ninth. Bandute in 10th. Cut in P11. Kane in P12. Deadstorm, who took provisional pole, is down in P13. F7RJ's 14, Fragley 15, Warren 16, Chipman 17, Clive 18, and Chewy, who both of them crashed out, will be starting at the back, P18 and 19. And we have a dry race, folks. It looks cloudy. Could there be a late, rain at the end of the race? You never know. What are your predictions, chat? What are your predictions? Firstly, Zenki.
you know, I I hope it rains. I hope we go from slick all the way to wet tire. Like I bring on the rain. All for it.
Yeah, it definitely creates a lot of excitement to the viewers for sure. As F7R Jace has unfortunately left the session, if you can please invite him. I think it's going to be a good battle between someone like Spanini. I think Electric Blade, who is down in P9, P10, will be looking to make himself get himself up through the field. I forgot where Big Mama Frank is, but I think he was not in one of the top positions. I expect him to do well as well. Who else? Orlando, I think, is definitely going to be fighting for the win. So yeah, it looks like we have an exciting race on our hands. Also, chat, remember predictions are open. We got total penalties for this race. Over 42.5, under 42.5. That's the total number of penalties for everyone combined. I don't know how much time was left. I think not much, maybe 10 more minutes. So get your predictions in before they close. Hopefully, F7RJs is back in his car. We got a lot of features to show to you guys as well this race. Hopefully I can get to do some of that, replays and whatnot. But I think we're about to get started, Senki.
Yeah, I was able to get. I believe it said F7
Yeah,
had joined.
yep. So 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go. Or no. And away we go. A good start from I think it was Firegab had a good launch.
There's a Mercedes F7 F7RJ all the way in the back there. Don't know what exactly happened, but back up to the front now is Firegab. Gonna make a move, possibly Carton gets it back.
Everybody comes out. Oh, looks like there are cars going all over the place there.
That is Chipman of the Aston Martin off the track. He would appear to still have an
No.
F7RJ
Oh,
has retired. I imagine he may
yeah.
not have been able to get his setup.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't want to see him retire on track, but there's still no safety car, so looks like everybody got a good start except for Chipman. Kane is a little bit
Um,
out of the loop here, out of the DRS, but
Ka just dropped 2 positions. I see an end plate flying. Don't know whose it is, unless that was a bird glitching out. Sure looked like an end plate to me though.
looks like everybody is going. Oh,
Oh, I feel like it has to be Ka's end plate. Yeah.
Orlando is down in P16, so not sure what happened to him. Completely missed that. Is he going into the diving into the pits? No. So he's making moves at the moment up in.
Was it? Could it have been Fragley? Fragley and Ka are pitting. I'll stay on
Oh,
board with these two. If
three
you want to
wide.
stay on board with the action,
Yeah, it's
it is Fragley getting a wing replace and Ka. I did see an end plate. It was not a bird.
let's have a look at the replay of the start there. Everybody I think started off pretty clean. Not sure. Yeah, looks like, yeah, I think Orlando got loose there and he went into the grass. That's where he lost a lot of positions. And unfortunately for him, he's down now in P15. Moving back into the action. We have some fantastic features. The replay is so cool. BK deserves a lot of credit for that one. As we see, Spinini, our pole position, guy who started on pole, is on P4 at the moment. Would be a good time to look at the tires. And that kind of explains why the top two are on the mediums. And Big Mama Frank and
That being
Spinini
said,
in on the hards.
Big Mama Frank on the hards does set the fastest lap.
Maybe burning a little bit of ERS, but yeah, Electric Blade is looking to make a move on Pablo here. Pablo holding his ground ahead of JDTV, or behind JDTV. SR Frame. Looks like Orlando. Excuse me there, not sure, but he moves up a couple of positions. Kane, not sure what happened to him. He's falling back. I think he's now down in P16. Chipman and Kane are falling back to the leading pack. Top two are opening up a gap to P3. Big Bummer Frank chasing on those hard tires. Not a lot of overtaking at the moment. Let's take a look at Electric Blade. He's probably the closest to Pablo. as JD is now out of the DRS, maybe? Potential for a 3-wide action going into turn 1 here with the JD not having any DRS, does he? He's now back within a second, but oh yeah, he did get DRS, so Spanini does not have DRS, looks like, so let's see here. JD TV diving down the inside. Oh, and JD going off the track there, and he's going off the track again. Pablo and JD come in contact with each other. He lost a couple of positions. Let's just save that replay there and look back at it.
JD is blinking right on the diffuser of Pablo as they go in to tight hairpins.
As SR Frame and Electric Blade are going side by side. Electric Blade able to make the move on SR Frame. As we take a look at the leaders, they are now 2.5 seconds ahead of Big Mama Frank. Pablo is able to open a gap on JDTV as Electric Blade makes a move on the AlphaTauri driver. Let's take a look at what happened to JD there going into turn 1 as Clive gets a penalty. He got a little bit of a tag from who's that? Haas of Pablo, maybe, not sure, but he did lose the car there. Let's going back. Spanini is able to make a move on Big Mama Frank. Let's see if JD is able to make a move on Electric Blade. Electric Blade trying to drive down the inside, but it's not successful. SR Frame with the DRS. Will he make a move on Electric Blade here? Electric Blade does not. It's a double DRS detection point, remember, so you get DRS for 2 straights. Ska sets the fastest lap, and Bandude has a 3-second time penalty. Let's see here. Pablo's doing well to stick with Spanini and Big Mama Frank. Pablo is on the mediums, I believe. Are you still with me, Zinky?
Yes, sir. I got a final mark back for my last final I wrote today already. So I was
okay.
quickly checking.
Okay, yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. As
Hey, 93 though. Yeah,
let's go, let's go.
Student athlete, okay, you know? Academic weapon. Also an F1 commentating weapon as Big Mama Frank makes the move on Spanini at the end of the DRS straight into turn 1.
Spanini almost hits the back of Big Mama Frank. Will be interesting to see if Pablo can make the move on Spanini with the DRS, as the Alfa Romeo driver does not have it at the moment. But does he dive down the inside? No, he is happy keeping station in P3. Or looks like
Clive takes another penalty.
Oh, some 5 cars going at
movement.
it here in the middle sector. This is looks like a lot of wheel banging between the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. Ferrari of SR Frame is able to keep the position, but with the DRS coming right up, JDTV gets a little bit loose. That looks like a track limits from him. 3-wide action as Electric Blade tries to make a move on the AlphaTauri. He goes wide again, but he is still he's able to keep the position. Chewy, Bandute, and Orlando all behind SR Frame at the moment. Can he keep this position? JD is 8 tenths behind as Spanini retakes P3 from Big Mama Frank. They're not able to close the gap on the top 2, though. The gap is increasing. Mail is doing exceptionally well to keep the lead, but he might lose it at the moment to Fire Gab. They may not want to fight as much and pull. They want to drag each other further as much as possible and not let Spanini catch back. But look at that. As I say that, Spanini is able to close by a second. So yeah, they really don't want to be fighting at the moment, as the hard tires will start to become the better raced tire as we go further into the first stint.
Interesting as well because, only 3 of our drivers on the hards.
Yeah, they're gonna have some really good pace at the end of the race, especially Spanini and Big Mama Frank. So that's
I
why
believe
the top two.
Kane got a move gun on Clive.
Oh, Kane is at P14. Well, let's focus on this battle right here. There are about 6 cars up from JD up until Deathstorm, so that's about what 7 cars in within a second of each other.
Mail Carton makes the move on Fire Gab into T1 for the lead of the race.
Oh,
Straggly takes a
oh,
unfortunate 3-second penalty. My goodness. Bumper to diffuser. Wheel to side pod as we go through the end of sector 1 there. Yeah, as you said, I believe it's 6th all the way down to 13th, which is 1, 2, 3, 4,
well,
5, 6,
Deathstorm
7,
has
8 cars.
we got yellows.
Oh,
Who is that? Not sure. Is that
I'm not.
Kane?
I am not
Hmm.
too sure because he is still ahead of our 2 Aston Martin drivers.
Mhm. Yeah, but
I'm not sure why the caution came out, as Spanini has cut down that gap to now
oh,
only
another
1.1,
so
1.2.
yeah, sorry to cut you off there, but sorry, not Clive has spun around again. And what is he
Oh,
doing? What is he
oh,
doing? Oh, he bought out
oh.
the safety car. He just put it in the wall there. Not sure if that was intentional, but this is great news if you're Mail Carton or Fire Gab. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
that
it's
much.
gonna absolutely destroy the advantage Spanini and Big Mama Frank would have had.
Let's
I
look at the
also
let's look at the
seen
replay
that.
there.
I think we switched to it together. I obviously can't see the replay, but I seen it happen. And
So
interesting move here,
I think
as Kane and Chipman are our first 2 to dive into the pits.
I was too late to clip in that one, but we have a new layout, folks. New scene, safety car scene. Check out our socials. To everybody in the chat, you'll get a QR code if you want to join our community. So yeah, we got some cool new things coming up. We got some exciting racing coming up, especially with the 24 game, less than a month away now. So yeah, make sure to join the community. Sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. And now we can focus on if Mail is going to pit or not.
It's also interesting. I believe Ka was actually the first to pit because he is already on a lap old hards. And then we have 2 drivers that have gone onto the softs. You're on lap 9 as everyone's entering the pits in the top 5 so far. Spanini, Big Mom Frank passing some people in the pit lane. I'm just gonna wait until everybody gets out. It's all gonna be messed up.
Pablo goes on to the softs, which is interesting. Makes
That's
sense too because mediums, 26 laps. I'm not too sure.
also interesting to note. Mail Carton going medium.
Huh.
So
Well,
he is has to be going to a soft tire. Obviously as well. This might be why we're seeing so many softs.
yeah,
Wet qualifying. So everybody's gonna have 3 fresh sets of soft tires.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think those who've gone on to the hards, they'll be looking to go till the end of the race at this point. Like, if not, their strategy will probably not work out for them. Excuse
If
me.
their plan is to try and go hard to a soft, then I think your best bet would have been switching to a medium
Yeah.
right now. But we got a bit of a rainbow, truthfully. We got Going from the top down, medium, hard, medium, medium, soft, hard, hard, medium, soft, 3 hards, and then a soft to round it out. So a fairly good mix, primarily. Everything actually is pretty even.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see some of the guys in the softs to make big moves. I'm looking at
Pablo,
he who must not be
Chewy,
named, Pablo,
Pablo.
Chewy, Deathstorm, and Warren. Fragley as well. He's way back, and he needs to catch up to the field. But I think Cut and Kane are going to be really happy because they had dropped all the way back after an early pit stop, so they would have been praying for a safety car, and the gods have listened. So, yeah, I think they're going to be looking to make up a few positions once the safety car comes in. Let's look at the position changes. The
Also going to be interesting. Fire Gab in the top 5. The only one on the hards.
Mhm,
JDTV in 6th is on the hards as well, and 8 and 9. However, he's surrounded by mediums and the one soft runner in Pablo. It's going to be interesting to see, can he fend off the 2 guys behind him long enough for his hards to kick in?
yep. Yeah, that's for sure. But well, technically, at this point, right? If they're going to take the tires to the end, you want to not fight as much and preserve your tire, right? So if you plan on taking the hards 26 laps, I would just let everybody through and, try and stay within their DRS maybe. Yeah, just not wear my tires out too much because for if
I know the rears can. You can lose the rears quickly here. That's going to be the big one. The fronts, you
Mhm,
know, that's been my biggest, kind of, I guess, any newcomers, I am in a lower tier. However, the biggest thing that's helped me has been dialing in the tire pressures. You know,
mhm. Yeah, for sure.
how well can you fend off tire wear and keeping your tires in the optimal temperature? This is definitely a track, especially with that Sector 2 S section.
Yeah,
Tire temps will get you.
yeah, for sure. That S section is the one that worries me if you have a lot of tire wear. Very easy to lose the car and put it into the wall. So, yeah, looks like Mail Carton is going side by side with the safety car. Not sure, but you don't want to overtake the safety car, mate. And yeah, I would just not take any risks. But yeah, looking at the position changes, interestingly, MVD Chewy has made up 12 positions. That's the best any driver has gained in this race. Spanini's lost 2 positions. Pablo's lost one. The most positions lost is by Orlando, who's now down in P12. I think they did have to double stack, so he's behind one of the Williams and Bandute as well, I think. Warren's up 3, Chipman's up 3, and Kane, who had a pit early, were down by 4 positions, and obviously F7RJ's being our first retirement is down by 5.
Yeah, it's also interesting because, with how spread out the field was on that safety car, obviously we've been under safety car for quite a few laps. There are some soft runners, they're going to be like already 3 laps old.
Yeah, for sure.
How fast are we going? As a safety car is going to be in,
Yeah,
but you're going to be running on 3 lap old softs already. As my goodness, the pack is stacking up
we will.
behind Mail Carton here.
Let's go on to the race scene now. As I'll remove the tire graphic before. Looks like Mail's already gone.
Interesting.
He has. No, he's probably.
Well,
No,
now he
he's.
hasn't. It's a fake out. It's a fake. Is it? Is it not? I don't know. Not the greatest jump in my opinion.
But looks like we have yellows. It's Kate again who's
Kane.
spun. But looking at the action at the top of the field now, Looks like Mail has gotten off a good start. Fire Gap is losing. Oh, Fire Gap is out. He spun. Oh, and he's reset the track there. That is not what you want to do. But Spanini is up into P2. Big Mama Frank in P3, and Pablo on those softs is looking to make the move on Big Mama Frank and is now up into P3. They're looking to go side by side. Big lockup for Big Mama Frank. But the Haas driver of Pablo is able to keep the position. Chewy all over the back of Big Mama Frank. Looks like there was a Williams going side by side with next to a Ferrari there. Uh, yeah, looks like it's Deathstorm and SR Frame. Deathstorm on those soft tires will be looking to make the move going into the final sector. Coming across the S's before that. As
What a start.
Fire Gap gets a 3. Oh, looks like we have. Oh, what?
Chewy.
Wait, what? I thought. Oh no, Deathstorm here goes wide. Pushing.
Caution. I believe that's a Ferrari.
Oh,
Yes,
a cut.
Cuh
Oh
has
no. No.
He's just gonna wait while he's ghosted for Kane to
Oh,
get through.
oh, Big Mama Frank is into the pits. Oh, not sure what happened, but he is into the pits. Can you check if
I will
that's
stay on board with him.
as we look at the rate?
He is getting a wing replaced.
Uh,
Leads me to believe there may have been some bumping.
that is
He is going to throw on another set of softs.
that is unfortunate. As we look at the battle here in the midfield, Electric Blade down to Chipman or something, I think. Let me bring up Interval. Sorry about that. And yeah. Oh, somebody's lagging all over the place. Is it Warren? I think he's just lagging all over the place at the moment. I think cars are driving through him. Yeah, not sure what's going on here. Yeah,
Oh my goodness, yeah. A little rubber band action.
yeah, he's lagging all over the place.
Nice.
I don't know if he's gone wide or if it's just him lagging, but he's lost a position. Bandit going wide in order to make the move on Electric Blade, who is on the harder of the two tires.
Yeah, looking at the penalties here, I believe Spanini just picked one up.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
That's a 3-second for Spanini, 6 seconds for Bandut, as Warren is really lagging right now. My goodness, I've stayed on board with him. Bandut 6, Fire Gap 3. However, he did reset to track and we got it on the stream. I'll digress from there. Fragley and JDTV with 3 seconds as well, and that is it. I don't know what the over-under was set at, but at the moment, 3.
Oh, sorry about that. As Deathstorm goes wheel to wheel with Bandit, loses a couple of positions, and SR Frame trying to capitalize on that mistake from Deathstorm, and Orlando is all over the back as well, but Deathstorm closes the door and is able to keep P7.
Let it be known, I am over 21.
Are you really?
I am 23. Finished my semester. I'm going to enjoy one while I commentate.
Well,
If anything, it's going to lead to some crazy reactions from me.
yeah, it's always good. Oh, as Bandit and Electric Blade come into contact, and he does. Oh, what? Bandit just brake checked Deathstorm there, I think. And yeah, somebody's got a broken wing. Yeah, Deathstorm has no front wing.
That is Deathstorm with no front wing going into the castle section. That is not what you need.
Oh my God, let's look at the replay there. Bandit and Electric Blade coming into contact with each other through the S sections. And I believe Bandit tried to give the position back to Electric Blade, but in doing so, brake checked Deathstorm. And yeah, he's now has no front wing. That is unfortunate for the Williams driver.
And 20 laps remaining. He is going to be going on to the mediums.
Espanini has caught back up to Mail Carton, both on the medium tires, remember. Pablo on the softs has not been able to catch the top two by a ton. But he's
over 2 seconds behind. That being said, though, Spanini with a 3-second penalty. I don't know if maybe it was a EA messing up penalty and he could get it removed, but at the moment, I think Mail is just gonna. Mail might let him go as long as he stays, within that 3 second. Maybe just use him for the DRS, save the tires a bit.
Yeah, both are on the mediums. I don't know if they're gonna be able to take it to the end. So as we see Fire Gap making a move on Orlando. Uh,
Bandu drops 2 positions to Gab in Orlando. E. Warren making a move on SR Frame.
oh, as our friend,
SR Frame picking up a 3-second penalty. I'll do some quick maths here.
as we see, Male Carton is still able to keep the lead as Bandu dives into the pits. Let's go on
Believe
board
we're,
with Orlando and Warren here. SR Frame
believe
looking.
we're at
Sorry, go ahead.
I believe we're at 24 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh,
So I don't know what the over/under was set at.
42.5.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We got a long way to go.
we got we got a bit of a ways to go.
As Warren loses like 3 positions and is blinking. He's trying to make the move on the Ferrari of SR Frame, but is denied any. Oh, and there's some wheel banging there with the Ferrari. Warren going for a switchback, but he's lagging all over the place. And oh, they're going too wide. But SR Frame is able to hold off Warren and keeps P9 as. Oh, now Mail picks up P.
Nail.
Oh, now it's even. Now it's even.
Now we got ourselves a fight. This is what, as much as I don't like seeing penalties, this is gonna make for a great race and battle at the top. As Spanini, right on the rear wing with that DRS open, gonna go for the move down the inside into turn 1. Spanini looking to get by Male Carton. Gets the move done. A pretty good exit for Spanini as well. He is flying out of the chicane. Pablo looking to catch up to his fellow Haas before his softs die out.
Also,
Martin
Orlando.
is possibly even he's close to falling out of DRS as Spanini. Spanini is just let him cook.
Yeah, he's definitely flying. He's now over a second as Electric Blade loses a position to Orlando. He's now down to P6. I'm just doing.
Spanini has broke DRS. He is over a second, just 1.1 at the moment, and he's winning the. He's also got more battery.
Oh, this is looking also well for the Alfa Romeo. So quick math here. So 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He has a 16-second gap to P5 of Orlando, who is, I believe, on the hard tire and won't stop again. So if Spanini does decide to stop, he has about like 12 seconds to catch up. Maybe it's if I consider one stop to be like 24 seconds. So I think he can definitely win the race by doing one more stop from here.
Spanini definitely either got a warning right there or came close to getting a penalty. He was flirting with the track limits there. He has increased the gap to 1.4. It's gonna be interesting. We'll learn real quick what the setups are like. Pardon me. Going through these S sections, if they opted for a bit higher wings. I know I did, and I loved going through this section, even in the rain.
A little bit of
See what the gap is looking like.
A little bit of wheel banging there, I think, between SR Frame and JD, but no harm, no foul. As we look at this battle with Electric Blade and Orlando. Carton
Spanini moving that gap between 1.3 to 1.5 seconds. Interesting here to see, is Male not burning at the moment, but he is still not within DRS. He's doing his best. Pablo as well. Those softs, you gotta be starting to bark at him. He hasn't been able to make up the time that he maybe wanted to.
Yeah,
16 laps to go. I gotta imagine he will be diving into the pits here soon. Those softs are not gonna last.
I think he'll probably come in lap 20, 22, or he can pit now and go up for the mediums.
He can pit now for the mediums.
Yeah, that's true.
Personally, I like that play more than trying to push these softs.
Yeah.
A few extra laps to get on the softs again. You know,
Yeah,
the mediums are gonna stay alive for you for a while.
yeah, for sure. I think I would do that too. As we see Electric Blade trying to break the DRS out of a fire gap, but also maintain that 1 second gap to Orlando. Not too much battling going on. We'll go back to Orlando and Electric Blade, who I think has like a little bit of edge over the Red Bull driver through the S's, but with the straight line speed, I think Electric Blade is able to keep up. Let's see if he's able to break that DRS. He's now 1.1 seconds ahead or behind Orlando. Let's see if he can get the DRS coming out of the final corner. I don't
Pretty
think.
hefty train, or not train, but break, as Chewy is kind of just, well, hanging out by himself.
Yeah.
He was able to break DRS though. Blade does not have it
Oh,
open.
oh, caution. Is it K?
I believe it is Kuh. I wasn't able to get there in time to see, maybe what had happened.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah,
He didn't dive into the pits, so I imagine it was just a, self spin maybe.
yeah, for sure.
Spanini is starting. You know, every lap it's just another tenth here and there. His electric blade takes a 3 second, not what you want to see. Evens out. Him and Fire Gab now, that battle just intensifies a little bit more. Evens it out.
Let's see if, or I want to see if Orlando can catch up to his teammate Chewy, who's on the soft tires, I believe. And yeah, he is losing time to Pablo, who Pablo is actually doing well. He's keeping the gap to Mail at about 2.2, 2.3 seconds. So he's having a fantastic race as well. As Chewy
Is
goes in,
Chewy on the softs?
yeah, Chewy's on the
Yeah, Chewy
softs.
dives in.
Yeah, or
I'd imagine he's going to be throwing on the mediums here. I couldn't
yeah.
see, and he is. I'll be interested to see, where he stacks up with the rest of the field as Electric Blade is on the hards. I'll quickly do a tire check for us. Yeah, we got
I
our two front runners on the mediums. Pablo on 12 lap old softs right now. And then from 4 to 8, we got hards with Warren also on 12 lap old softs. Obviously, our hard runners, I would think, as Fire Gab dives down the inside of Electric Blade. I'm on board for this. Maybe a little bit of bumping. Maybe a peck, a smooch on the side pod, but looking to be fairly clean as he is going to go down the inside, make the move on Electric Blade with the penalties, evening them out. Maybe deciding to go on the attack. Electric Blade is going to get DRS though.
I think he has a little bit of a superior straight line speed. Probably opted for lower wings, and I think he's gonna get him down the main straight anyway with the double DRS. So
I think that is a great prediction.
as Pablo dives into the pits for a set of mediums, as Bandude picks up another 3 second time penalty, or so let's see here. The first one to dive into the pits was Chewy, and how far back is he from his teammate of Orlando? Because he is technically the net leader if everybody decides to pit and the hard runners take it to the end of the race.
I agree. I don't know if we got 13 laps. I don't think Spanini and Males mediums can do that.
Chewy,
I think Orlando's hards can.
yeah. But looking at doing a quick math, I think he's about there's a 17-second gap between Chewy and Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, about 17 seconds. So we'll be interested to see. So the leaders will probably, if they pit now, they'll have about I guess 12 to 10 seconds, something like that. So they do go into the pits.
Might be looking for a 3 wide here. Pablo diving down the inside of JD is gonna get the move done. SR Frame, was there ready to dance along with him. going to be interesting to see where our two leaders come out here as Pablo's about to be flying down the main straight. He could go into a provisional. Obviously, Orlando now our leader on the hard. I think our top, however many, as Mail and Spanini do come out 4 and 5. So truthfully, not a terrible pit stop for them.
Looks like Pablo is having a little bit of a hard time making the move on JD, who is on 13 lap old hards, I believe, but he dives down the inside and pushes him wide, but he does give him enough room and takes the position. But will JDTV be able to get the switch back? No, he goes wide and gets himself a 3-second time penalty as
Now
Pablo.
this is interesting.
So,
Our two leaders that pit, Mail opting for the softs with 12 laps to go, Spanini on the mediums.
oh,
Mail,
wait, somebody lost a front end plate. It was that the
electric
electric
blade.
blade? Let's take a
I did see that he dropped 2 positions there fairly quickly, and he is going into the pits.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Let's take a look at the replay there as we have the two cars coming in. I think. Oh, and Mail was the one who made contact with the electric blade. He got loose, and it was probably Spanini who was just passing by and couldn't do anything about it. Make contact with our Red Bull driver, and he lost the end plate. So he's now pit, and he's gone all the way down to like P13, 14. That is unfortunate.
Mail Carton is flying already on those softs. Him and Spanini have both made it past the hard runner. The two hard runners. Unfortunately, one of them was electric blade. You know, I didn't get to see what happened. Obviously, you guys just watched the replay. Think what you will, but they both made it past Fire Gap fairly easily, and I've already pulled a sizable gap
Yeah,
without even burning a whole lot of their ERS. You know, Orlando as well doesn't have like a lot in his bank, less than both the two. He has less ERS than the two cars behind him. Granted, they both do have 3-second penalties. I think it's going to be very interesting as Mail Carton sets the fastest lap with a 1:18.153 on those brand new soft tires. Is he pushing a bit too hard right now is my question for you, Devil. You know, he's got 10 laps to go.
well,
Granted, you know, he did just see his teammate in Pablo take those softs 12, 13 laps. You know,
yeah, before I answer that question, Chewy's cutting through the field now is now up into P6. But yeah, I think the thing with Mail is that he has to make a gap as much as possible before his softs die. And well, if he has the pace, might as well go for it. But Spanini is now 3 seconds behind him, so I think Spanini has the
he's
pace.
showing some pace.
Yeah, but my question is, I don't know if we missed in the stream, but I don't know if you caught it. Spanini was ahead of Mail by a second. I don't know how Spanini ended up behind Mail so quickly. Was that just down to, the softs? Or was it, I don't know. I don't know if you know.
Pretty sure Mail was ahead of Spanini.
No, going into the pits, Spanini was the leader, remember? He opened the gap. He had like a 1.2-second gap on him.
I could have sworn it was Mail.
No, it was the other way around.
He's within DRS now of Orlando already. He's had to burn a fair amount of his ERS. Still has more than the car in front of him.
Yeah.
However, and is on the better tires. He's going for the move right away. They are side by side, coming down this mini straight to end sector 1. Going into the hairpin. Mail does get the move done around the outside. He's going to be looking to push as hard as he can, try to break away from his penalty. Orlando's going to be looking to stay within DRS of him, however.
I think right now the gap is about 4 seconds to Spanini. The gap between Mail and Spanini. So Yeah, Orlando is blinking as well. Not sure why he was trying to burn so much ERS there to fight. But oh yeah, Fire Gap gets a 3-second time penalty. I think he's up
I believe that's his second. That is 6 for him.
at,
Yeah, Mail and Spanini both with 3 seconds. So Orlando, if he can just stay where he is,
as Big
at the
Mama Fra
moment he'd have another win under his belt.
for sure.
But
Yeah. Uh,
Mail is flying at the moment.
at Big Mama Frank with the unfortunate race for him had an incident earlier and he's now down in P14, but he does not have any penalties. So if he can make some moves, he will be able to get some points out of this race today. Now Spanini is just 1.8 seconds behind Orlando as JDTV dabs into the pits. Opts for a new set of the mediums with only. Oh, he has a front wing change as well, so that's unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver. Let's see how Pablo is doing. He is now 2 seconds behind Firegab, a second within 2 seconds now. He'll be looking to make the move on him. The question is, however, will he be able to catch Orlando with 8 laps to go? He's about, what, 8 seconds behind him. As Benini is going to make the move on Orlando. I'm guessing through the DRS zone. He's all over the back of the McLaren. If he holds, he will not be looking to get held up anymore because he does not
Spanini
want.
going down the inside as we are about to hit DRS. Tons of ERS just dumping the battery. He is also going to be looking to break away from Orlando as fast as he can. As our top two, both with 3-second penalties. Mail already breaking away from his penalty, putting him 4 seconds ahead. This second DRS, as you mentioned earlier, the double detection. Orlando gonna be getting left in the dust a little bit, forced to burn a lot of battery there.
I don't think Orlando.
Ooh!
What?
Sorry, Spadini had a little, dun, 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 dun.
As Big Mama Frank makes a move on, I believe it was E. Warren, who's still lagging on my screen. Oh my God. I'm not sure if this is based because of the lobby or something, but Pablo is closing in on Fire Gap as well. He has about 8 seconds to make up with Orlando. I just don't think it's possible. Pablo, he had a good strategy, but I don't think that's too big of a gap to make up unless he has like a second plus pace over Orlando, or Orlando gets a penalty. I don't think he will get on the podium, but you never know. Those hards are what I think by now they're 20 lap old hards, so they gotta be feeling rough as we got Sector. It's Deathstorm again, who has spun. He is out. He has no front wing again. Unfortunate for the Williams driver. He is now down in P16. Be looking to come back into the pits and get a new pair of wings as SR Frame goes into the pits for a new set of soft tires. Not sure if he had some wing damage there. As Pablo is losing time to Fire Gap now. Not sure what has happened to him. I don't know if he's just.
You are correct. They are 20 lap old.
Oh, virtual safety car. What? What?
Oh,
I.
that is not what our top two want to see.
Well, it's a virtual, so they wouldn't care. I don't think they'll come into the pits. Although the gap between the top two is now 5.8 seconds. You gotta be careful not to get a drive-through at this time. Mail is flirting with that, I think. He's completely come to a stop in the final corner. He does not dive into the pits. I don't think Spanini will either. Orlando goes into the pits, though. Wise decision? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Deathstorm gets a drive through, speeding under VSC.
Unfortunate.
Warren gets a 3-second time penalty as Fire Gap goes, and we have started the race. So Orlando, who's still stuck in the pits now, we'll be interested to see. He's not going to lose any more positions, but he can he catch back up to his teammate and possibly Fire Gap and Pablo. He has about 8 seconds to make up to his teammate, and a further 2 seconds to Pablo. With 5 laps to go. So I'm not sure. Top two still, it's still a 50-50 regarding who's going to win the race. The leader on the soft tire, the guy chasing him 4 seconds behind now, though, is on those mediums. He is closing a little bit, but with the virtual safety car, both would have gotten a good chunk of their ERS levels back. He is making a charge, though. He is closing in by almost 7 tenths through the stadium section and the second sector. 6 tenths. It was
They
4 seconds. Is now down to 3.4.
they are almost dead even on the battery. Pablo's going to be looking maybe not so much. Obviously with the penalties, he's got P3 in the bag right now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to come down to, can he get within 3 seconds of Spanini? Maybe try to get a Haas 1-2.
Well, he is 12 seconds behind Spanini, so I'm guessing no. But you never know what can happen. There might be a safety car next lap. Or hopefully that's not a commentator's curse, but
If that were to happen, he could fight for the win.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because none of the drivers have penalties. As sorry about that. As
I don't know if it was mentioned either. Bandute also got a drive-through penalty. I know we had mentioned Deathstorm. Bandute also got one.
Big Mama Frank is salvaging his race. He is now up in a P8. So an excellent drive from the AlphaTauri driver. As Fire Gap will
Provisional P7 after
yeah,
penalties.
for sure. Yeah. Orlando now though, he is flying. He's now only 3 seconds behind Chewy. I think start of lap 31, he was 8 seconds behind. So he's absolutely flying, and he'll definitely be looking to get P3 on track.
Spanini has closed that gap to Mail. 2.6 on the mediums. Pablo on 1 lap older tires to Spanini, both mediums. Looking to try and erase a 15 as Fire Gab makes a move on Pablo.
Not the most, not the smartest.
Smart.
Yeah, because if he wants to keep P4,
Chewy and Orlando.
yeah,
Chewy and Orlando are going to be chasing
as Warren. Oh, he retires in the pits, I think. So no safety car, no safety car. So okay, let's go back as Chewy.
Bandute did get a speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him.
Going for his drive-through.
Spanini is now only 1.8 seconds behind the leader, as Orlando is definitely catching up. Deathstorm also retires from the race. It's been a very unfortunate race for him. He was doing so well and, got brake checked, I think. And, yeah, it's unfortunate. But will now Chewy let Orlando through? I think the best thing for Chewy to do is to give Orlando DRS and just move out of the way. Although he'll be losing a ton of time in these corners. Oh yeah, he just lets him through, and Orlando is able to make the move. Pablo will be looking to make the move on Fire Gap as Kane retires from the race as well. As Williams is still on track, unfortunately. This is going to be interesting. Who is going to get that last podium spot? What's your predictions, chat? What's your predictions, Zenki?
Truthfully, I was doing a calculation to see if our over is hit. It has. We have 53 total penalties at the moment. But, Panini has closed that gap to 1.3. Since his teammate is out, the other Alfa Romeo, I think Spanini pulls this off, and we're going to see an Alfa Romeo 1 and a Haas 2, 3. Actually, I'm gonna change that. I'll go Alfa
Orlando.
Romeo 1, Haas 2, Orlando P3.
Orlando is
He's gonna
close now.
flirt. He's gonna be flirting with a P2 after the penalty. That's mark it down. That's the Zanky call.
Wait, what?
Benini, Carton, Orlando, and Orlando might get a P2. It's gonna be close.
He's 17 seconds behind though.
Calling it. It's gonna be close.
How? Okay, okay. I'm not gonna say anything, but okay. With 1.5 laps to go, you think he's gonna close 17 seconds unless there's a big mistake at the top? Okay. I'm gonna give
I've
it.
seen crazier things have happened.
As Fire Gap has lost the position to Chewy as well. Pablo losing the position to Orlando. Orlando is definitely flying purple first sector, definitely with the double DRS. As Spanini now. Spanini is all over the back of Mail. Mail has DRS though from the Alpine in front. If I were Mail, I'll be looking to get that
Oh!
DRS.
Oh!
This is close.
Contact!
This is close, folks. This is going to be a fantastic finish because Mail is getting DRS from the back marker of Fragley, I believe. And both have DRS open. Let's see, Spanini and
Both
going.
dumping the battery. Both sitting at 0% ERS. DRS wide open.
Going to go too wide.
As we.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Spanini was all over the curbs there.
They're
Uh,
both gonna get DRS again.
oh, it's going to come down
Both
to the final DRS zone, folks. It's going
zero
to.
battery for both. It's coming down to setup in that final DRS section.
Spanini all over the diffuser. Oh, what's their
Oh,
contact though? Oh, this is close, folks. Who is gonna win? Is it gonna be the Haas? Spanini goes wide though. Is it gonna be the Haas of Mail or the Alpha of Spanini? It's gonna come down to this DRS zone as Spanini is going to go through the detection point. Opens, oh, goes wide too. Opens up that DRS. Will it go to the
they're
inside?
burning.
No, Mail is able to hold him off. Is there one final dive coming in through the stadium section as we have the fireworks going off here in Mexico? Who is going to cross the line? Oh,
Oh, a bump,
this
a
is.
kiss, a smooch.
Oh, as
Oh,
Mail wins it.
oh.
That was so close. Only 15 hundredths of a second. He gets the win. What a fantastic finish to the race. Mail Carton wins in Mexico. Orlando with another fantastic drive to finish P3. Pablo
I
doing
almost
so
spit out
well
some
in
of my
P.
drink.
Oh,
I thought my prediction was gonna. I thought my prediction was hitting.
as Big Mama Frank, fantastic comeback from him. Finished his P7. Unfortunate at the start, but yeah, he does ever so well. Electric Blade in 8, SR Frame, a good drive from him in P9. JD in P10. We'll see if he's able to hold. No, Chipman into the final points playing position as they're all bumping
Yeah,
each other. Your teammate,
that's my AM3 teammate.
let's go. As
Yay, Jimin.
as Cub finishes P12, Bandude P13. I forgot who is P14. Fragley P14. Bandude, I think no. Fragley's got to be the driver of the day. I mean, he gave Mail that DRS, the oh so important DRS going into the final corner, the last lap. That was crucial for the Haas to win that race. And Spanini, if I was Spanini, I would be fuming. I would be like, why didn't you get out of the way? But if I was Mail, I would be sending him gifts right now because that it was crucial for the Haas driver to win this race tonight. Let's look at the replay actually uh, of the final lap. We saw a little bit of bump, little bit of kiss at the back, uh, slight smooch there from Spanini. Mail takes a very inside line there and is able to get the win. Uh, Zenki, I'll let you invite the top three
I
into.
have.
And
They have been sent out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. As let's take a look at the results. Male Carton getting his first win, I believe, in contest of speed. Gets P1 with a fantastic fight from Spanini as well. Gets P2. Orlando in P3. A good comeback from him. Pablo, fantastic drive again. P4. Chewy P5. Fire Gap P6. Big Mama Frank P7. Electric Blade in P8. SR Frame in P9. Chipman in P10. Rounding out the final point splitting positions. JD in 11, Cut in P12, Bandute in 13, Fragley in 14, Kane, Warren, Deathstorm, Clive, and F7R all DNFing in the race. So, yeah, what did you think about the race, Zenki? I thought it was,
I
yeah,
had a terrible voice crack at the end out of excitement. That's the kind of race it was.
yeah, for sure. As let's just move into the interviews here before talk about anything else. But yeah, I mean, the race was fantastic. I think the top two, the battle between Mail and Spanini was terrific. Uh, Orlando with a good comeback as well. Yeah, I think it was a very enjoyable race. At least that's my point of view. Uh, yeah, any final thoughts before we get started with the interview, Senki?
Uh, Great race.
Yeah, as I think we have Orlando and Spanini. Uh,
Mail couldn't hear us, so I invited him again.
Oh yeah, I think
Orlando,
it's
Orlando, I'm just gonna say I really like your PFP Discord.
uh
Oh, thank you.
uh Mail is here. I believe he's always had problems with this, so I'm not sure, Mail. It seems to me that you are muted. Uh and yeah, if you can hear us, go on mute and talk, maybe that would be great. But uh, yeah. Anyway, we'll as we wait for some technical difficulties to get sorted with Mail, our race winner, let's talk to Orlando. Hey, Orlando, how you doing?
Hey, good, good, good. Yeah, it was a very tough race. Very enjoyable though. Unfortunately, in the first couple of laps, I got spun out, but I was able to make a good recovery. Once I put on those hards. And then I was trying to hold on as much as I could against Mel and Spanini, but those new tires were just absolutely killers. Mel just flew past by me, so it was just impossible to keep up with them.
Hmm.
Um, if the last virtual safety car would have been a full safety car, I think maybe I would have had a chance. But it's still a good result. Definitely not mad about it. So it was a good race.
Yeah, you definitely made up a lot of points to I think Electric Blade, who is leading the championship. It was
Yeah.
going into the race, it was 26, and now probably it's come down to like in the tens, maybe 15 or something like that. So congratulations on a fantastic recovery. That safety car or the virtual safety car, I think, kind of came in the right time for you. You were absolutely flying. I think you came out what maybe 8 seconds, 12 seconds behind your teammate. And I thought, okay, with 5 laps to go, was it possible? But yeah, I think, yeah, you just had a lot of pace. But originally, was your plan to go to the end with those hard tires?
Yeah, I mean, my plan was like maybe with the other two guys behind, in front of them, they would catch a little bit of time, and I was able to stay in front. But no, their new tires were just absolutely faster than mine, so there was just no shot. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was the initial plan.
yeah. I think because they had hard tires at the start of the race, I think they had to probably go two stopper. Uh, I don't think the mediums would have made it. So yeah. Anyway, fantastic race from you. Great recovery. Zenki, any questions for Orlando?
I truthfully I thought there was a chance you'd bring it in. It was a bold statement if you go back and watch the stream,
I was
but
I was listening at the same time, so no, I was like, how many beers has he drink? I like drank, like it's just crazy. But no, yeah, thanks for the motivation. I mean, hopefully I was still trying. That's the only reason why I went in for softs.
hey,
But
Yeah.
I mean,
I said
thank
you'd
you.
make a. I did say you'd at least get P3, so thank you for confirming that part of my prediction at least. But
Well, I
I'm
Yeah,
only
think
you
here to
got
help
that
you
uh,
out.
right.
I think I got the podium exactly right from the start of the race. I thought Mail, Sponini, and Orlando would do well, and look at that, we got a podium out of them. So
Yeah,
anyway,
there you go.
congratulations, Orlando, and good luck for I think China next. So yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
we'll go to Spanini. Hey, Spanini, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Uh,
Another race. So close. So close to the finish.
yeah,
But yeah, it
So
was fun.
talk us about that final lap. I think it came down to I thought you were gonna win, but that back marker, I think it was
Yeah.
Fraggly. Yeah, because of that, I think Mail probably had a slightly lower wing setup, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. So I think
Yeah.
that's why he was able to keep the position. And that
yep.
DRS, double DRS, is such a killer. And yeah, talk us through that final lap.
Yeah, I mean that was my one win scenario right there was get him on the last lap with DRS because I could tell him catching him.
Hmm.
But yeah, that back marker just came in the worst possible moment. And yeah, he was definitely running lower downforce than me because every time in sector one I would just see him pull like three tenths down the straight, but then I'd catch it all back in sector two.
Hmm.
Honestly, there's a lot of things that could have been a little bit better. Like coming out of the pits when we both pitted, I had a mistake coming out of the first couple corners, and he overtook me immediately.
Ah, okay.
But he was on the soft tire, so I
Hmm.
was like, I'll try to get him to pull me at least.
Hmm.
But just cutting through the traffic, I got kind of caught up in sector two with older hard tire runners,
Hmm.
and he created like a 4 second gap right there, and then cutting down that time kind of took a couple laps, and I think the virtual safety car kind of hurt too because that just gave me less time to do it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, 15 thousandths is what it told me, so it's like
Yeah.
so close. Yeah, that last lap was. I could tell like the moment we were going through sector two, I knew I had to get like a very good sector two down, but I also bottomed out on a curve and I
Yeah.
lost a little bit of time going into that straight, and there's just no other opportunity to try to take that position.
Yeah, I definitely saw you bottoming out there. I think it was coming off of the exit, which starts all that S turns. But anyway, it was still a great race from you. Yeah, I was also telling Zenki, who didn't believe me, that I thought you made a mistake coming out of the pits in the second pit stop because you were definitely ahead of Mail by like two,
Yep.
1.5 or 2. So yeah, unfortunate, sometimes it happens. But yeah, great drive. I thought you had the pace to win. I think Mail was fantastic too, don't get me wrong, but I thought you had the overall race pace to win the race, but unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't work out. But yeah, fantastic drive anyway. Uh,
Yeah, and I think Mail started on the mediums and then went on the mediums again.
mhm.
So I knew he was gonna definitely go on the softs if he wasn't pitting. Like if he's pitting with me, he's definitely getting on the softs.
Yeah,
So I knew the softs were not gonna last all the way, and you could tell. I think like with after that virtual safety car, it was a 4 second, 5 second gap, and
yep.
like by the last lap, I pretty much closed him. Um, so I felt like the medium tire was definitely still the better thing, but yeah, hard track to overtake if you're running a little bit higher downforce.
Hmm. Yeah, it's always a compromise, I think, because you need, if your tires are worn, you need that high downforce for, especially for Sector 2, that SS and that stadium section kills you if you run lower wings. But then, it's a compromise because you're gonna get eaten in the straights, especially with the double DRS. So, anyway,
Yeah.
great drive, nonetheless. Zenki, any further questions for our P2 finisher?
I think you're due. This has got to be what I think this is two in a row that you're less than a tenth coming into the finish line. You know,
Yeah, I know me and Orlando had a pretty crazy finish last race.
I think you're due.
Yeah,
You're putting in quality race after quality race. Just
Yeah,
clean battles as well. I think that's the biggest one. A lot of our top runners here, Orlando, yourself, Mail. It's just fun to commentate. So another great race out of you. Congrats.
thank
Maybe
you.
next week in China we'll see you on the other side of that thousandth.
I
Yeah,
believe
hopefully.
you take P4 in the championship as well with that result, if I'm not mistaken. So, and you
Ye-
can definitely get P3, and who knows, if Electric Blade or Orlando slip up, you can still fight for the championship. So, yeah,
Yeah, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, I'll give it my best.
yeah, definitely. Well, if that's all the questions we
I
have, oh, Zenki, sorry. Do you have something else?
Oh, I was gonna move because I Mail wasn't able to join us in the Discord here due to some technical difficulties, but he did give us his thoughts
Oh,
on kind of the race in the final lap in chat.
oh, okay. You might. Do you want to read that out for our viewers?
I got you guys. So Mailcard, I didn't think I was going to win. I thought Fire Gab or Spanini was going to get it. The car felt good when the tires were fresh, but as soon as the tires hit 25%, the rear was all over the place. On the last lap, I stayed behind the back marker to get DRS for the main straight. I thought Spanini was going to get me through the S's because my rear kept stepping out. It was a really fun race, and his heart was going 100 miles an hour. It
Yeah,
just
for sure. Yeah, I think it was smart play from him though. I was telling it on the stream as well. If you're smart, you're gonna keep that back marker ahead of you and get the DRS out of him, and that's what he did. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to win.
couldn't agree more.
Yep. Congratulations to Mail. By the way, a fantastic race from you as well. I believe that's his first win in Contest of Speed, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check that for you guys. Yes, it is his first win. So huge congratulations to Mail. Good points for him and the Haas team. Uh, and I think with that, we will be going into the end of the stream. Um, Waiting for the transition thing to end before I end the stream here. Well, thank you everybody for watching tonight. We have some action coming to you towards you tomorrow with EU1. It's at 9 p.m. UK and then followed by AM1 at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think that's 2 a.m. UK if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, a final uh, day of round 12 around Mexico before we head to China next week. So be sure to catch AM2 same time at 9 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday. And with that being said, uh, thank you everybody on behalf of Zenki and myself, and we'll see you next week.